Hi everyone, I'm Marco Goncalves. I'm an IBP solution architect here at the config team within our supply chain planning team.
And I'm Emily Sansom, functional consultant.
So today we're chatting about a few of our favorite updates in the upcoming SAP IBP 2508 release, which some of you may know has been released in the test environment over the past weekend and is due to go to production in the coming weeks for our clients. I guess it's a relatively bigger update than usual and promises to make life a lot easier for planners, doesn't it, Emily?
Yeah, and we've picked out a couple of our highlights, specifically the areas of Joule and the Planner Workspace that we think are going to save time, improve visibility, and ultimately make supply chain planning a bit smoother on a day-to-day basis. The update definitely delivers a lot of great business and operational benefits.
Brilliant. So let's start with Joule. I think it's fair to say there's a lot of excitement around Joule. Joule is SAP IBP's AI assistant, for those of you that weren't already aware. And I guess one of the coolest things is now being able to schedule jobs directly through the chatbot, whereas up until the previous release, it was mostly useful in navigation to apps and other basic tasks. Our first impressions are that it's super intuitive and easy to use, and it's going to save planners a lot of time. Some of these features that we are about to mention may require your organization to be signed up to the early adopters program. So please bear that in mind. Get in touch with your account managers for any questions about that.
Yeah, and while we're on the subject of Joule, it's actually going to be able to help with the conditional formatting and the Excel UI as well. So it's a really nice touch for personalizing your planning view without having to know any of the technical Excel jargon. So you just ask Joule, add a conditional formatting rule in your own conversational language, and Joule will do the rest.
That's a real game changer, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then the next Joule sort of feature is the master data health check. It's another great step forward, I think, personally. Previously, this was referred to as a data consistency check, sort of been rebranded. You can use a chatbot now to analyze your master data inconsistencies directly, use it to spot issues quickly, and drive planners' attention to the appropriate master data types. So, for example, what we've seen in the past, where a particular product had a lead time of 100 days, where it's usually, say, 10 days for that product family. Joule can sort of drive your attention to those inconsistencies, and you can action it from there onwards. So a real time saver.
Absolutely. But aside from Joule, the Planner Workspace has also had its share of improvements. So one-click jobs are now available in the Planner Workspace. You don't have to mess about remembering what filters or parameters you're meant to use in your run. You can just pick from a list of your saved jobs or your recently run jobs. It's going to be a huge time saver, and it's going to cut down on a lot of human error by using the wrong parameters. So that's a nice improvement.
And yeah, just sticking with the Planner Workspace, the contextual navigation's usability has been improved too. So with 2508 improvements, it means you're now able to pass predefined filters when navigating between analytic stories into Planner Workspace through using hyperlinked URLs. So it just ultimately improves that handshake between the Planner Workspace analytics and making it sort of seamless. I think it's going to be another big time saver. It just allows for easier walkthrough between the different pages.
One of my favorites is I also like the comparison of the scenarios with scorecards that they've brought in. So we already had the scorecards, but the scorecards can now be accessed from the Planner Workspace's scenario dropdown. So it's easier than ever. You can see the effect of a scenario that you're running on your KPIs. You can also update the content of the scorecards very easily from the Planner Workspace so you can see what's important to your business. Leveraging scenarios are massively important for finalizing your right plan, and scorecards give that clear side-by-side comparison. So I'm going to be using that one. Another slick improvement is how custom alerts are now managed in the Planner Workspace. So alerts can now be snoozed directly in the alerts pane, creating a more simple to-do list for the active alerts and snooze instead of just one long list of both. What's more, if you want to simulate a change in the Planner Workspace, the alerts pane now shows the effect of that change on each of the alerts before the changes are even saved. So that's going to save a lot of time on trial and error, saving things and going back and forth again.
Absolutely. And I think a personal favorite of mine is the improved transparency in the statistical forecast details, which I think is a massive win for users. You're no longer required to be a data scientist whiz. Whether you're in Excel Planner Workspace, you can now review the outputs of your algorithms, measure the forecast error across the best fit outputs, makes it easier to understand. And it even makes suggestions on how to tweak the parameters of your algorithm models. So whether you're looking at alpha, beta, gamma parameters, for those of you that know it can make suggestions towards that. From our experience, I think this was a steep learning curve in the adoption of statistical forecasting, and this should go a long way into trusting the numbers being generated. This is being extended to other modules too, isn't it, Emily?
Absolutely. So the AI-assisted analysis update isn't just for statistical forecasting. It's available for inventory optimization as well. So you no longer have to take your safety stock calculations at face value. You can interrogate what factors have gone into that calculation. This can give you transparency behind your demand or service variability numbers, and give the planners the confidence and understanding to talk about the numbers that are being generated in their plans.
Yep, absolutely. And I think finally, just another update that's being released and sort of making headlines is the harmonized planning area. For those of you that don't know, it brings together both worlds of time series and order-based planning. And I think it's the start of a new and exciting way of future-proofing your SAP IBP implementation. There's lots to come over the next couple of releases, but for now, we have covered this in some detail in our blog. So please look out for that and see how this could help you in your roadmap. And please do get in touch. So these are just a few of the updates we're excited about, whether it's saving time, improving visibility, or making planning more intuitive. IBP 2508 is definitely a step forward, and we're starting to see the real benefits of AI in supply chain planning.
If you're using IBP already and are curious about how these features could work for you and your team, or if you're not on it yet, but this update's made you interested, feel free to reach out. We're always happy to chat.